The first light of dawn bleeds across the London sky, June 13, 1944. At an anti-aircraft battery in Woolwich, a group of men huddled together. They swap stories and try to ignore the gnawing unease.
Lower these out inside.
2 weeks have passed without an air raid, a deceptive calm since the Normandy landings. But complacency is a luxury they cannot afford.
Vital.
Whispers from their superiors spoke of a storm of vengeance brewing in Germany, a new terror, a weapon unlike any they had faced before. Suddenly, the air raid siren screamed, tearing the men from their uneasy peace. They scrambled to their posts, hands gripping the cold steel of the 40mm Bofors. But what is this? Not the familiar dark wave of bombers, but a single, terrifyingly fast object hurtling through the sky. Searchlights converge, struggling to keep pace with the unseen menace. The gunner strains, tracking the impossible speed, and unleashes a barrage. The Bofors roars, but the mysterious enemy defies the storm of lead, a deep, bone-shaking buzz echoing its passage. It streaks overhead, leaving the gunner in frustrated silence, the infernal glow of its engine fading towards the heart of London. Then, silence. The engine coughs its last, and a chilling stillness descends. Seconds stretch into an eternity before a deafening explosion rips through the distance. The weapon struck Grove Road, a mere 2 kilometers from the Tower of London. This is no ordinary bomb. It's a pilotless terror, a cruise missile carrying a warhead of annihilation, unleashed from the enemy's lair hundreds of kilometers away. The V-1 flying bomb. Its speed, its size, its devilish low altitude obliterates every defensive doctrine they had mastered. They are facing something entirely new. The night of June 16th unleashes a storm of vengeance. The 3.7-inch anti-aircraft guns, designed for a different war, are helpless giants, too slow to track, too cumbersome to aim. Smaller weapons manage a few desperate hits, downing 21 doodlebugs at a terrible cost. But it's a drop in the ocean. In the skies above, pilots fight a losing battle. Radar struggles to pinpoint the fleeting targets, leaving them with seconds to react. Even when they find their prey, the V-1s detonate with unholy force, endangering the very hunters sent to destroy them.
Just time.
spreads through the ranks. Engage from further out, or risk oblivion. The odds are stacked against them. But Britain will not yield. The Royal Air Force, stung by the onslaught, scrambles to adapt. Overnight, the nation's war machine roars into action. Every strategy is torn apart and rebuilt. Anti-aircraft guns are reborn with faster reflexes, their fire control systems pushed beyond their limits. New rules of engagement are forged in the fires of necessity. Radar networks are streamlined, their whispers of warning amplified into a chorus of vigilance. Barrage balloons rise like silent sentinels, a desperate gamble to snare the unseen foe. Ingenuity becomes the weapon. Every modification, every innovation is tested and deployed with breakneck speed, a race against the shadow of the V1. Amidst the chaos, hope takes flight in the form of a legend, reborn and reforged. The Supermarine Spitfire Mech XIV, a winged thoroughbred with the heart of a Griffin engine, enters the fray. With a top speed of 718 km/h and the maneuverability of an angel, it promises to be the scourge of the skies. Among those tasked with intercepting the V1 menace is Australian Flight Officer Kenneth Roy Collier, a pilot with nerves of steel and a thirst for action. Patrolling England's south coast, Collier finds the assignment rather dull, but the skies are about to ignite, having already vanquished one flying bomb. His ammunition is dangerously low. As he contemplates returning to base, a glint of metal on the horizon snags his attention. Another V1, sneaking in over the shore. With barely enough ammunition to spit at it, Collier turns his trusty Spitfire towards the incoming terror, knowing this could be his last stand. Collier dives, the Spitfire screaming as it accelerates. The cigar-shaped bomb fills his crosshairs. He fires a short burst, but the bullets fall short. Closing in too fast, he fires again, unleashing his last rounds. They strike the V1's fuselage, but the monster flies on untouched. Collier's voice cracks with disbelief. Powerless, he watches the bomb relentlessly head towards London. Studying every detail, he notices the tail section, the elevators and rudder constantly adjusting. Then an idea sparks. Could he disrupt the V1's guidance system? He carefully maneuvers his Spitfire, inching his wing beneath the V1's. Suddenly, the V1's wing glows red. Collier pulls away, fearing an explosion. Before realizing the light is just his own navigation light, he steadies himself, bringing his wing into contact with the V1's. Collier's heart pounds, waiting for the detonation, but nothing happens. He gently tilts his wing, trying to nudge the V1 off course. But the V1 corrects itself, continuing its deadly journey. As the V1 threat diminishes, a new, more sinister weapon emerges from the shadows. The skies may be clear of the buzzing menace, but a deeper, darker terror awaits. The lull in attacks is a deception, a moment of false hope before the storm breaks anew. For in the depths of Germany's war machine, a nightmare is taking shape, one that will eclipse the V1 in its destructive power. The era of the flying bomb is coming to an end, but the war is far from over. If you love these dramatic historical stories, don't forget to subscribe to FLYTOP so you don't miss the next episodes.